Welcome to Tool Time. It's Tuesday. Whew. Glad to be here today, and hopefully you are having a good day. I am doing Tool Time with three of our newest tools. It was a little tricky. I had planned to do some other ones based on what our shipping times normally are, but I went ahead and switched it up after last week's project recipe because I realized, I may not receive those items, and sure enough, I have not. So appreciate your patience if you are waiting for a order from CM. I feel like the backup started with the free shipping promo in February, and then now Creative Memories is going to be launching a new website on Monday, so I think now that's also part of what's going on. I don't know, but anyway, we'll get our stuff. That's what's great about working with a company like Creative Memories that's been around for a long time. We know, we love them, and if there's issues, they make it right, and sometimes we have to wait a little bit for our stuff, which is hard. But like I said, I am going to be playing with three new tools that I have not demoed yet on Project Recipe or on Tool Time. So very exciting. Many thanks if you are watching on YouTube. I just realized, let's see, my microphone is a little low. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. If you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I appreciate that as always, and that is the best way to go back and watch past videos. In fact, I don't think I mentioned last week during Project Recipe, maybe I did, but one of our scrappy friends, Crystal, she went back and started at the beginning and watched every single one of my Project Recipes since I started going live, which was during 2020. So 6 years worth of project recipes. So that's quite an accomplishment. And so thank you if you are watching later, and if you're watching live, welcome. So this weekend we have a virtual crop, and that's in the Creative Memories virtual crop group. So this is something that Creative Memories runs, and if you participate in the crop, and I'm going to be using the sketches from last month, of course, because it's not Friday yet, so I don't have the ones for March yet. You upload your pictures and tag them with a certain hashtag, and then you're entered to win some stuff from CM. So why not? Good stuff. We have an advisor crop on Sunday, so if you're a local advisor and you're interested in that, you can RSVP at DaytonaAreaScrapbooking.com. If you're on my team, you can RSVP in our private group, and that's just going to be from 1 to 6 at in Ormond, and we're going to have a great time. Work on some projects for our own projects and projects we want to share with others. Well, hello, Lori. Thanks for hopping in and saying hi. Next Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day, in the O'Gorman household. That is a big deal. So I'll have to bust out my green wig for that and make some potato pancakes and things after my Techie Tuesday next. I was thinking about not even going live because it is kind of like our holiday, but I am going to go live. I'm going to do my Techie Tuesday, and then I'll do a second Tool Time this month. So just 2 spots left for my National Scrapbook Day. I have 1 full table, 1 half table. Actually, just kidding. Somebody had a full table. They decided they didn't need a full table. They're going to be working on digital. So now I have 1 full table and 2 half tables left for Saturday. I've got room on Friday if you want to come. Friday, they're both 8 hours. They both include a meal. So same experience, just different times. So 1 to 9 on Friday, and so still plenty of time if you want to come by after work and have dinner and get all set up. And then Saturday is 10 to 6. Alrighty. Then, like I said, we'll have a second tool time. So hopefully these items, which I ordered at the end of February, will be here in time for this because I do not have them yet. Then Scrap and a Snap, March 26th at 5:30. That'll be in Port Orange. So hopefully you can make it to that. We are going to make 3 2-page spreads, the January, February, and March simple page kits. And then I do just have like a couple seats left for the retreat to the lake in Mount Dora. That's April 30th to May 3rd. And that will be my 75th retreat. And it is a Alice in Wonderland theme because it's Alice in Wonderland's 75th anniversary. And exciting. Now the ladies that went last time, 2 years ago, or in 2025, last year, because we're doing it every 2 years now, they already got the kind of a heads up on this, so most of them are already registered. But if you are interested in cruising with the Memory Maniacs, we will be cruising on the Utopia of the Seas February 8th to the 12th, 2027. So if you're interested, you can reach out through my page, through Facebook, through YouTube, wherever, and I can send you the information on how to get yourself registered. Because obviously, you have to do it a special way to be part of the group. So I can give you that information. And if you've been before, then you know what I'm talking about. All right, so it is time to get right into it. And sometimes I just play with the tools. I'm going to make a page from the virtual crop, from February virtual crop today. I feel like you guys like that better than just watching me play with tools. All these tools are new and they are available. And so, and you're going to, I picked, a page layout that maybe you'll learn a new technique or want to try something. So let's dive right in. And since it's not a project recipe, I'm not doing pictures from a retreat. Actually, these are from on Sunday. I went to see the Savannah Bananas, and so I'm going to do a couple pages with those. I was like, what am I going to do? I've got the flower punch that came out in coordination with National Scrapbook Day. I've got the spring blooms, Build-A-Punch, so all 4 of these get punched out. And then I've got the Dragonfly. So is that necessarily Savannah Banana theme? No, but it's fun, it's spring, and I have the perfect yellow and blue paper, and I uploaded those pictures today. Like I said, this was just Sunday. So these are straight out of the package. So the Dragonfly Punch was wildly popular at my retreat in Fernandina Beach. You can see it's one of my favorite kind of border maker cartridges because it stays attached to the page, so it's an edge punch. So when it has a straight line like that, it means it stays attached to the paper. So it's an edge punch. You're gonna see it. It's an edge punch, but also, so you get the negative of the dragonflies. But what does that mean when you punch it? That means you get a bunch of little dragonflies as punch poop, which is fabulous because then you can use them as embellishments on your page. They're like a 1/2 inch by 3/4 of an inch. So they're not like super tiny, but they're a great little size for sprinkling. So I think this page is going to turn out super fun and happy, and I cannot wait to do it with you. All right, so here is what we got. Oh, I'm going to be using the jumbo circle because this sketch number 4 kind of drew me right in. Of course, I was looking for something that I could use all 3 of these on. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, I could make a chain of those around, but actually what I plan to do was do dragonfly punches inside this circle, and then do the flower punch down the side, and then sprinkle with our Build-A-Punch flowers and of course, our Dragonfly Punch poop. So I have got paper from a variety of packs, but as we've discussed many a times, they just all seem to go. And this is from a barbecue pack, but it's yellow and blue, and it was kilt day. So the Savannah Bananas are wearing kilts in my pictures. So that plaid is perfect. And then there's also this blue gingham. So super happy. I've got just a light yellow sheet of cardstock. And then this was from some other pack, but it's very blingy. I'm not going to use this green side, but I could. It's kind of the wrong shade of grass. So I think this is going to be what my palette is going to look like. And then I've got 2 sheets of white. Now you can't tell the texture. Oh wait. Okay, so this is a insert. I thought this was too because it felt the same. But so the old packaging, and this was packaging from 2021, was a thick white cardstock. You can't see it or feel it, but you can hear it. So it's real thick. I'm actually going to use this as one of my bases because why not? They're the thicker ones. If you have some old paper packs lying around and you're finished them, you can use them. This is, our Creative Memories paper, but and you can't see through them because they're thick. So I'm going to use that as my base. And then I thought I had 2 inserts, but I also have a plain white, and they are the same white, so that will work. So this is tricky because this sketch has several layers. We've got a bottom, our base page. Then we have a page that we want to cut into these triangles. All right, so we got to pick a page that we like both sides. Well, I think this page is the winner. That's going to look really good. And I'm going through this with you for my benefit as much as for your benefit, so that, whoa, I bumped my, looks like I bumped my, my camera there. Like I said, I'm doing this for my benefit as much as I am for your benefit. So we're going to do a white base page underneath here, and then we're going to do these triangles on top. Now, what I want to do is do this 11-inch circle with white, and then I think, yeah, I'm going to use white. So I can actually cut it out of my base page. So I'm going to cut my jumbo circle out of here. And then with that circle cut out, that is what I'm going to use. You'll see. So let's start with that before I get too far ahead of myself here. And just take a breath. Don't forget to breathe. All right, so I've got my jumbo circle, and since we only need a 1/4 inch showing on each, because this is going to be 11 and a half square, cut diagonal, so it's a 1/4 inch on either side, so we are good. I'm going to try to center it as best I can, because why not? And I want to cut on the inside first. I said that like question mark. I wonder if I am going to have to do this because I just realized this is an edge I was thinking it was a knockout when I had this idea in my head. That's okay. I'm going to run the dragonflies down the other side. So I'm going to swap these. We can do that on the fly. This is the beauty of the sketches. So if you find that maybe the project recipes are a little too rigid for you with their cutting guides and their, you know, you've seen me off-road with those too, though I try not to so I don't, you know, cause confusion. But, oh boy, that's all right. It's okay that these are a little furry because they're not going to go. All right, so this is going to be my base. Of course, we're going to cover this up. So it's okay that this whole middle part is out of it. And now we are going to cut out the sunflower. Okay, now if you've seen other advisors do this, you 100% can make your marks in the appropriate places. However, you can also just do this. You can, since I know that for some of you, measurements and angles are like triggering and or have like childhood trauma attached to them, you can just go around. And I was showing this at my my retreat. The key is to make sure that you connect this part. Now you're gonna get these little edges and you can snip them out after, but you want like this little section to be connected as you go around. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not, but that's okay too. You've got some wiggle room, especially when you come around to the end. Let's look at our sketch again. So, see how these are overlapping over this circle? So that's where I put my boo-boos. And now you know. Because only the people watching this live know my boo-boos. My family, when they look at my page, they're not going to lift things up and see what's underneath. So I am just going around, and again, it's really hard for you to tell, but what I'm trying to do is line this up, this little connection point with this connection point right there. So you get your angle right. You want to get that angle, and we're just going to go around. And you see how I'm flipping it over to actually do the punch. So when I start to grab, I start to grab the paper, I'm putting pressure on the back of the punch. Then I'm flipping over, so it's stuck in there, and I go. The reason why I do that is so that all those little pieces do not go flying back into the tool. Because that's when things can get hairy. You get all these little petals stuck, and that not just this punch. All right, so we're coming up to the moment of truth. This is probably where those matted pictures are gonna go, right here, because I have one more shot, and I'm going to make sure that this is lined up, but the likelihood that this part is lined up, that might not happen. So that's okay. That's the part we're just gonna cover up with an embellishment, a photo, and if, oh, it might just, no, it's not gonna be perfect. But I'm going to line up one side, so at least get one side attached. Look, I mean, that's pretty darn perfect. Now you could leave these little triangles in there if you wanted to. They're like little thorns. But I'm going to cut them out. Oh, you guys, in the winter, my workshop gets so cold because this wall that you can't see is like, you know, what's it called? brick, not brick, cinder block. So it's a block wall. I live in Florida, in case you're visiting from somewhere else and didn't know where Daytona area scrapbooking is. So I'm just kind of notching this out. But anyway, it gets so cold in here in the winter, but we've had a couple days in the 80s, and now my workshop is getting warm. I mean, it's climate controlled in here, but it's funny how when it's cold, it's really cold. And I mean, I have AC in here, but I don't know. I can tell. So this is the punch, and you can do this technique with our border punches and our border maker cartridges. So I'm just, you know, going in here and trying to make it, it's not going to be perfect, and no one is going to inspect it that close. I think that's an important lesson. You know, it's in the done is better than perfect kind of vein, because I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to make things perfect, and the reality is when people are gonna look at our photos, they are not going to be judging your use of tools. I promise. They're just gonna be so happy it's done. I almost cut that apart. That would have been a disaster. I mean, this is probably where my thing is going anyway. What happened there? Anyway. But yeah, no one's gonna judge your tool usage, your page creation, because as many of there are of us out there scrapbooking, having a great time at National Scrapbook Day and whatnot, still not everyone in the world is, you know, doing what you all do with their photos. And when people, and you know that because if you've ever shared your books with people, they're like, wow, this is amazing. Even your really simple pages, right? Okay, sorry you had to sit through this, but it takes a little time, but it is worth it. And I'm literally just going, you're seeing what I'm doing. I'm not really trying to make it perfect. Okay, so we're done, and we have this ring, and this is my spot that I almost cut it all the way through as I was talking. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to refer back to, oh, thanks, Ruth. Yeah, hopefully that's a good technique, and if you've seen it before, it's always good to be reminded, because I think sometimes we forget. Oh yeah, I can do that. It's not just a border punch. We can do so much. All right, so this is going to be at 11.5, so I'm just going to trim off a 1/2 inch from each side. So we're going to turn and turn, and here we go. And now I wish that meant that this would fit in here, but it doesn't. So here's what without like folding it all the way, you can kind of, and we're going to be cutting both ways. So I guess it really doesn't matter. But what I do is, actually, why don't I just fold it? Because we are going to be cutting both ways. Slide that under there. We are going to remember which edge I'm on. Remember, your little white thing points to which track you're cutting on, this little white arrow here that you can see. So I am making sure that that is pointed right where that point is going to be. All right, so now we've got that, and now I need to cut it this way. And now I can do that like this. Oh, that moved. Oh. Okie doke. I'm going to do it from the bottom because I feel like I had more control. Okay. All right. So we did that. Let's see what it's looking like right now. We're going to lay this down. No one's going to see that. It's all good. And then we're going like this and like this. And then we're going to use the other side of this one. And I love it because there's little stars. I'm going to put this on the bottom. Wait, how is it? I guess. This is that little edge that I goofed. All right, so this is how we're looking so far. Love it. And then this is going to go on here. Where's my boo-boo? There you are. So that's going to go on like that. And we need the circle for the middle. And I can just really do that under the other base page. That will make it white though. And I don't think we want it white. So, because we've got white here, I think maybe we want to do something else in the middle. Well, as long as they're not touching, actually, and they won't be, because instead of using the red blade so it cuts right here and touches, I can use the blue blade and give it some distance. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me go ahead and stick this down first. So far you've only seen one of the new tools, but hopefully you are digging this page. All right, so I'm going to put some tape like this because I know that's going to get covered. I don't want to go down to these corners because that isn't going to get covered. And I think I'll just turn this and do the same thing. So I'm going to put some tape down in the corners of this, not in the middle, because we don't have anything in the middle. And then I'm going to go like this. And making sure that we are keeping it straight here. Alrighty. I feel like this is one of those sketches maybe from the February virtual crop that, you know, intimidated people. Well, maybe you didn't have the jumbo, but as you can see, that is also one of those tools that's so versatile. Okay. Let's get you all set. I probably should have used repositionable tape for this, not gonna lie, because this is where geometry comes in, right? Well, we're gonna cover this. You can see a little bit of blue, but we're gonna cover that. Okay. We are gonna use repositionable tape for the back of this, and I'm gonna move this out of the way so that hopefully there's tape in here. And there's these big center parts of the flowers. They're also big enough that I could use regular tape. You don't want to use your repositionable tape on here. It's just a pain. All right, where's my goof? Here it is. We're gonna put, no, here it is. Okie doke. All right, so that page is nearly done. Oh, well, I guess you know what you're adding to your wish list, right, Ruth? Ruth says I'm repeating for everyone watching later on YouTube because your comments on Facebook do not come to YouTube. So Ruth said, you're right, I don't have the jumbo circle. Yes, so if you are watching this and you don't, now you know what you need to put on your next order. Oh, okay. So yeah, we're still working on this one over here. Okay. I'm talking to myself. So that is a little close, but we're gonna matte. See, these pictures call for a matte, a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 matte. And so I'm gonna do blue, and I think that's really gonna help this pop. I normally stick with a thin. I could go with a thicker matte and do 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. That would even add some more, you know, blue to the equation. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut these now. I'm gonna use this for my mats, and that blue is gonna look so nice. So what was I gonna say? Oh, when you're cutting mats, you could cut your mat 4 by 6. Oops. And then if you do that, you're gonna get 6 mats out of one piece. Then you're just gonna have to trim your photos down a little bit. I'm looking ahead here to see what I need, you know, what I need mats for. We have another white base. That piece is gonna have to be a different color. We've got things to choose from. We need a big piece for back here. We're gonna make that blue, I think. And then, so, all right. So let me just show you a little trick with this. So if I cut 4 1/2, I can only get 1 6 1/2. If I cut, I could go 6 1/2, and then I can go 4 1/4, 4 1/4. Then I can only get 4 mats out of here, which is the same as if I went like that. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I am going to cut at, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it at 6 1/2. I'm going to see what a wider mat looks like. You know, you can always trim off, but you can't add on. So then I'm going to go 4 1/2. And normally I don't like a 4 1/2 by 6 1/2 inch mat, but like I said, we're going to see how that looks. Oh, you know what would be brilliant, but it is in the other room, is if I had went with some of the inks around here and added some blue ink to that. Maybe it's not too late. Okay, let me see. So, all right, so I've got my On the Field banana ball, and then I've got that one. So those are the ones that I printed for that. And I don't know, I think I kind of like the wider mat for this one. And you see how that so nicely covered my little boo-boo area? So no worries. And yeah, I mean that's it for that page, except for some flowers, which we are going to add just a second. All right, so we got that page done. Super cute. And we're going to move on to the second page of this 2-page spread, and we're going to use our other tools. So, and that Dragonfly is going to be perfect right there because it has a wavy edge. It has this wavy edge and it stays attached to the page. All right, so I just want to sit and look at that for a second. All right, so here's our base page. We need 11.5. This says 11.5 by 11.5, but it's not. I guess they're having you cover over, but we're not going to do that. This is 2 1/4. So what's 2? That's why it's math. Let's do 2. Well, this is going to cover it at least a little bit. So what's 11.5 minus 2.5? So 9. So 11.5 by 9. So we're going to do an 11.5 by 9. And I think I'll do the 11.5 by 9, this one. Should the sparkles rain down? Should they go this side? Maybe I'll do it this way and cut that off. So 11.5 by 9, and then we will do what? We can add this. We've got another sheet. I think I'm going to do the I'm going to do the dragonflies out of this. And then I think I'm going to tie in that other page and use this strip on the side. And then we've got some varieties to use for mats. All right, now I have a plan. And having a plan is very good. All right, so I'm gonna not cut the 1/2 inch off first so that this piece I'm cutting off is a more usable piece. What did I say? I'm gonna cut off 2 1/2. Right? 2 1/2. Yes. So 2 1/2, because that other little piece is 2 1/4, but we're going to overlap. All right, now I can cut off the 1/2 inch. And that goes to that part. Now I'm very excited about my new trimmer. It's just a little wider. So if you already have it, like I've been used the heck out of this trimmer. Like you can see my door. So when I heard a new trimmer was coming, I said, well, I could probably email CM and ask for a new door. But I'm excited about getting my hands on that new trimmer. But if you have one that works, then, you're good. All right, let's have fun with, I'm not gonna stick this down, with our second new tool, and we're 40 minutes in. This is the Dragon Punch. All right, so we're gonna do that out of this yellow cardstock. Let's put that in there, and we're gonna slide this in here. Fold that back, and this little notch here lines up with each little notch on here. Oh boy, you definitely need this. Look at how pretty that is. Right? So, and you've got all of these fun Dragonfly punches that you can use that came out because it's an edge knockout. So it stays attached, which makes it an edge border maker cartridge, but then usually these are for a knockout punch. So let's call it an edge knockout. And we're gonna kind of sweep them off to the side. I don't want to throw them away because I might want to use some. So that is your Dragonflies. Now this is going to go over like this, right? Where's our sketch? Yep. So we have to trim that off. Let's trim it at, we're going to trim it at 1 1/4. Give us a little bit of room. Actually, I'm going to trim it at 1 1/2 because then I think I can run another little baby strip of paper and connect it. All right. So that's going to go like that. And we don't necessarily need to have another piece under there. Where's my other little, where did the piece I cut off go? Because I could just add that back underneath. I mean, I didn't even need to trim that off. I could have just left. Let's see what it looks like if I piece this back together and put this over that. No, I think I do want a different piece. So I'm going to go with this yellow, and I'm going to cut that at 2 1/4. And then I'm going to trim to 11 1/2 so that the rest of this paper stays at 12, because that's going to give me, oh, all right. So, well, we can play with it. That gives us more options if we leave the rest of that paper at 12. So make your long cut first before you cut. All right, so this is going to have to overlap a little bit, but we kind of knew that. And then this goes like that. I think I like the plainer yellow better than the plaid, just because seeing it through, it, you know, it actually might. Oh, are you thinking this plaid? That plaid, because then we can see that better. All right. Oh, there went a blade. Is that the plaid? Is that the plaid you meant, Ruth? All right. She said the plaid from the other page, but we used two. Or I guess this is gingham. But I think this is the way to go, just so those dragonflies pop. That yellow on yellow was hard to see. If I stay near the edge, everything should be okay. Just don't put any in the middle, except I can on this edge over here. So funny. It's 4:45. If you were watching last week on live with Tara, you heard my dog freaking out, and I said, oh, well, after the time change she'll be good, and she kind of is. It's 4:45 and I just heard her start to, oh, I forgot to trim that, harass my dad who's here. I had to take him to an eye doctor appointment today, and so he's here now, and I hear him saying, what? What? Because he doesn't know. She is like, hey, you should start preparing to feed me. At least I shut the door today, so she's not out here. But it's really funny because I hear my dad saying, what are you saying to me? He's saying that to the dog. Oh, it's funny around this place. Okay. We are almost done. We played with 2 of our new tools, and that looks so good. And then I can, I don't know if that's too much, but I can do just a little piece of this plaid on here. Might be too much. I'm not going to stick it. Whoops. Lost my Victorian blade here. I won't stick it just yet. All right, so then what we need is some mats. Oh, now we have decisions to make because these really have to be thin. So thinner mats, or they're not. Well, actually, okay. So I can do them 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, which is what it calls for. But then I can trim a little bit off the photo so that the mat size matches the other side. I think that is the way to go. So we've got 2 4 1/4s, and I have options here for mats. What shall I do? I think I can get a white mat out of here, but I'll probably save this for a journal box, which I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm probably not doing this. So I think we're gonna do this, and I used up all the other blue. I've got a little bit, but it's not enough. Boo. All right, so we're just gonna go with this yellow for our mats. What'd I say? 4 1/4 and 4 1/4. I'm going to cut them both because I can't get 2 6 1/4s out, so I'm going to have to go 6 1/4, 4 1/4, 6 1/4, 4 1/4 from each of those. So here's 6 1/4 and 4 1/4. Oh my goodness, my poor dad. He's out there talking to the dog. Okay. We may or may not be using this. It's here, just in case. Now they have the 2 big mats on the bottom, but I kind of like this kind of action. Wait, what did I do? Did I cut these wrong? No, it's okay. I kind of like this action for balance. And all right, so it could be, I have lots of pictures of Maceo, who is actually the first, he's a bass coach, but he does all this kind of flipping around. And he, like in Savannah Bananas, when there's a rain delay, people don't run away. They come out into the stands. the players come out into the stands. I love this picture, but I have no, I could have cut that way and had one landscape picture. All right, so I think it'll be an all Maceo page. Don't worry, my husband's seen these pictures. I think we'll just make it a fun Maceo page here. I could get split on there. Maybe I'll do that. And maybe I can get another one on there. Well, I'm clearly have to do some more pages. Is that gonna fit? I don't want to lose. No, we're gonna lose too many people. Maybe we'll do. Well, here's another Maceo picture. Okay, we'll do one split and the rest. Okay. So let's trim these up, and then we can add our icing, which is this fun tool, which I love. So now I've got to take off. Now, how am I going to do this? People are definitely going to lose their heads here. We're going to go quarter. We have all the room in the world at the top of this picture. So we want this one 4 by 4. Let me go this side first. I don't need to. Oh, I didn't need to cut anything off that, did I? What do we got here? Now I did a wide. Okay. Well, then I'll go thin on this one. Forgot the plan. Had a plan. Forgot the plan. All right, this, okay, so 4 by 4 for this. Can Crystal and I, all right, we do half of Crystal's face, half of my face, and we're good. Okay, time to stick these on. I'm gonna need my second shower of the day. All right, so we got thin mats and thick mats. Well, we can't get any smaller on this one. There's just no way. So at least they'll match. All right. Time to stick these down. We are in the home stretch now. Let's see, we're gonna put them pretty close together. So we can see that pretty blue. That's why we talk about this on our lives. Sometimes paper just seems like too busy. Oh no, I'm not going to use it. That paper's too busy. But by the time you get mats on it and everything else, whoops, that already has it. I was about to put it on the front. Did you see that? I'm going to see if I can sneak this over, because we want the dark blue showing, but that will give me a little more space. Whoops. Hello. Then I can match that space on the other side. That was a little tight. Okay. All right, so here we are. This is the page, and we can add, I'm going to add some of these. Oh, wait, I'm going to add this. This is cut. Now, this, I need some more tape under here. Now for our flowers. Okay. Here is a Build-A-Punch, and I'm just going to use this just so you can see. You're going to get all the parts that you can mix and match. That's why it's called a Build-A-Punch. And let's not use blue. Yeah, let's flip it over to the other side. So they're white, so you can see them. So we've got we've got 3 different flowers, and then you've got your little leaf. So by punching out of various colors, then you can mix and match and get the flowers or the look that you're looking for. Now, I love that this little leafy guy is down here in the corner, because you can just kind of come in, and if you go this way, you can cut a bunch of the leaf, and then you're gonna leave chaos in its wake, because every time you punch, it's gonna punch out like that, but that's okay. So that just be garbage. What we're after is just some of these green stems. And of course, you can be very abstract and make these stems. They don't have to be green just because in nature they are. You can just, do them pink and yellow, just like your other. But you see how it just kind of chops up the pieces in its wake. So that's all right. We can just get rid of that. And maybe it'll be easier to see on this yellow. So that's what we have there. And I just grabbed some green cardstock I had. We can add those. And then I'm thinking that we just actually do some blue flowers. And I'm kind of liking these ones over here instead of the tulipy ones. And so you see how I just kind of went around the corner there. I did these and I did those, and I can come down here and do this. So you don't have to do, the whole punch, all 4. You can kind of be purposeful in your attack. And I probably have plenty now. And I'm going to do another one like that. All right, we got plenty now. Now we can play with these. And I don't need this one. So we've got some blue. Do I have any more of that other blue? I do. So I'm going to take a couple of those as well. And I'm going to do the same thing, kind of take it around the corner to just get those ones. Now I'm going to flip them over and I'm going to go ahead and load them up with adhesive, with a regular adhesive on these ones. I'll move off these guys and do them with repositionable along with the with a few of the dragonflies. So now I'm just going to load up the backs of these so that I can sprinkle them around. And it's 5. We just hit an hour. I promise we will be out of here soon. That one doesn't have one. All right, then it's nice to use cardstock for these little leaves, because then you don't have to worry about what side it's on. Well, unless you want it to like bend a certain way, but at this stage of the game, we're not even worried about that. And let me get, and I love that these dragonflies are different sizes as well. They're not all the same. They're not all the same size. So let's, oh. All right, so everything including my mat, my table, my workspace are preloaded with tape. And now I'm gonna just pick these up and load them onto my hand here. Try not to try not to do that. Come back. Oh, for the love. Come on, work with me. Oh no. See, I was afraid of that happening. I just stuck 2 together. Don't do it. Oh. All right. Now, let's get to decorating. So we can add some blue flowers up here and down here. Well, I don't want them to be the same order. You come over here, you go like that. Now I can add, if there's other little boo-boo areas that I need to cover, these would be great, great things to do that with. Let me get a light colored one up here. Let's get some little patches of green here in the mix. These look a little floaty for me. I don't love that, but that's okay. It is nice to have them preloaded like that with the tape so that you can just go ahead and add them. I still have a handful of flowers over here. We're going to move that off to the side for now. And add some of these around here. We can cover up. We got random people. Oh, I probably need some more of that light colored one, but that's okay. Oh wait, I do have more. No, more dark. Jeez, I have a lot of flowers. I don't know that I need all these flowers. Here, you can have a flower friend on here. Here, you can have a flower friend up here. And oh, let's not forget our dragonflies. Oh yeah, we need a dragonfly right here. And we need one down here. And then we have to add our greenery. Let's add a dragonfly to the top of this flower. Let's add some greenery up here. One last green. And we'll add a little dragonfly to that flower. Okay, are we done? I need to find a place for a journal box, that's for sure. And I've got stuff everywhere. Which, I mean, are you even scrapbooking if you don't have a very messy space? Let's get this adhesive off here really quick. So that isn't a problem. And there's our pages. Look at these happy, happy little pages. And we are good. Well, hey, Jen, glad you could join. And that is a wrap. We used this new border punch, and we made a ring using our jumbo. We did the build a flower punch, which was super fun, and then also the Dragonfly border maker cartridges. So now you have 3 things, or at least 3 things, to add to your wish list. And that's a wrap for me. And but you made it. You made it. So that's it. We've got 2 pages done. We played with the new tools. Hopefully you learned something fun. And I appreciate all of you who joined us live and also are watching the replay on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever you're watching the replay. Appreciate you. We have, as I mentioned at the top, there's an advisor crop on Sunday. If you're a Creative Memories advisor and you're interested in attending that, reach out and I can give you the specifics on that. Don't forget, I have 3 spots left for National Scrapbook Day. So if you're planning to go, and today is also the deadline for shirts. So if you want to order a shirt, today's your deadline. If you want to go to National Scrapbook Day next weekend, not this one, but the 20th and 21st, do that. We have virtual crop. That's how we made our pages today. So virtual crop is this weekend. Hopefully you can join that. And if you are on Facebook, it's the Creative Memories Virtual Crop group. Go ahead and join that now so that they'll let you in and you can see all of the sketches this weekend. Ruth, did you order a shirt? I will check and let you know as soon as I get off here. All right, until I see you again, my friends, stay scrappy. Bye-bye. Can't find